What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Payne. Welcome back to another Summon Dragons 2 video. Alright guys, gonna be talking about a few things that are very important for a lot of you, especially understanding what your wish list should look like and what team to use currently if you don't have that wish list to progress in story mode. So I'm currently free to play. I'm on day 4 now. I finally just finished the event to get Zeus, so I got Zeus for free. You guys can see here nothing has been spent. Just want to show that real quick. The grand opening event has been completed. I've gone ahead and done that and got all my points. As free to play, this is kind of the goal. You don't care about the ranking because that's not going to matter. You're not going to get there. What's going to matter most is just earning your points and making sure that you get your Zeus out of the way. You guys can see here, ranking wise, I'm going to be nowhere near top 50 even. So it's not really a concern at the end of the day, guys. Really, at the end of the day, like if you're free to play, your goal again is just to get Zeus out of the way. Now, with that being said, let's talk about the important part of this video, and that is going to be your wish list and what you want it to look like for the best possible outcome for your account, especially if you are going to be staying free to play player. Okay, so when you unlock advanced summoning, you're going to be doing a couple basics, then you'll unlock this. It's called advanced. You're going to have a wish list available to you. Now, these are going to be the units that you're going to want. As you can see here, these are the units I mostly don't have, unfortunately, but I've been trying to summon for them. So the first one you're going to want is going to be Phoenix, okay? Now we're going to go through each of these units and go through them together so you guys understand exactly what each unit does. If you go to Dragons, go to the Dragon Gallery. You guys can go Cornelian. Phoenix falls under this category. You guys got a chance to use Phoenix in the beginning of the game. Phoenix, of course, is the best healer in the game right now. Ultimate Phoenix channels for 5 seconds. For the first 3 seconds, he's immune to control effects. Releases Divine Light Rate to heal an allied dragon with the lowest HP. Of Phoenix's max HP of 0.9% of the target's max HP per second. So this is going to be your main heal. This is also going to heal an allied dragon with the lowest HP of his max HP. This one here is going to increase the defense of a target by 30%, which is massive. And here, after healing, if the target dragon with the lowest HP is below 60%, the dragon will be healed for an additional 2.6% of Phoenix's max HP. So right now, this is the healer you want to go with. Right now, I'm using Lily as my backup healer. That is an A unit right here under Emerald. This is the backup unit you're going to have no choice but to use for now if you don't have Phoenix, right? Lily right there, Haze wins. Still a decent healer, but will fall off fairly quickly and early on. So Phoenix should be your #1 goal on your wish list, especially if you're lacking in heals. The second unit we're going to talk about here is going to be probably the top DPS, and that's Achilles. Okay, let me go back and put him back in. I just took him off. Achilles, there you are. Okay, let's go back and look at Achilles real quick so you guys understand why it's important to have this unit on your team. I'm going to tell you guys now, summoning units are major units in this game. So you're going to definitely want to have as many of these as you can. Now, Achilles here copies itself into a target's position. If the target is located already copied, the copy will be summoned near the target's location instead. When a copy exists on the battlefield, recasting the ultimate will create a new copy of Achilles, and the previous copy will disappear. These copies, Achilles copy, a range unit that inherits 130% of attack, 90% of defense, and HP of Achilles. It doesn't inherit any other attributes of Achilles. Achilles copy also has 30% crit rate, 15% damage amp, and 500 AS bonus attack speed. Its basic attack deals damage equal to 180% of Achilles attack. Prioritizes the enemy Achilles currently attacking. Lasts for 20 seconds. So these are going to be super important, guys. Soul Pursuit, for every 3% of max HP the enemy loses, they additionally take equal to 95% of Achilles attack. And Achilles fires a Zephyr Orb at the target enemy that explodes on impact, inflicting damage equal to 210% of Achilles attack to the target and all enemies within range. And then the passive here is when the battle begins, Achilles gains 350 rage. Every time Achilles casts the ultimate skill, permanently increases skill damage by 4% and increases the attack of the copies by 3%. Can be stacked up to 5 times. And this increases the more and more levels you get, right? So probably going to be your top DPS for a very long time. So absolutely have Achilles on your list of units that you want for sure. Okay, next up, let's go to a tank. So at least you guys have a full wish list here, and that is going to be Leviathan right over here. Okay, so this dude over here from this group. Okay, so just so I can show you guys, I know they don't tell you the name of the images, so I'm going to walk you guys through each one. Leviathan's a really good tank. Now there is also Greed and Bruce. But shout out to Balthalas. I think that was his name on Discord. He's actually been giving me a lot of advice on here. I personally have Greed and Bruce, but he highly recommends going with Leviathan. So we're going to look at Leviathan real quick and talk about what he's all about and see what the difference is, okay, between those units right there. So there's Leviathan right there. So Leviathan does a couple things. Use the power of Frost Glacier to strengthen himself and gains a 10% damage reduction, lasts for 6 seconds. At the same time, Leviathan's basic attack is converted to Glacial Strike. Leviathan deals damage equal to 100% of their attack to a small area in front, so an AoE. Affected by Versatile Guardian, Leviathan temporarily increases 3% max HP for 6 seconds. While max HP is increased, Leviathan's attack will have a 40% chance to stun the target for 1 second. Every enemy can be stunned only once per 10 seconds. While Frost Glacier is effective, Leviathan receives a Versatile Guardian bonus as well too, okay? This one's called Glacial Fracture. Slaps the ground to form cracks. The cracks will extend far away. After forming, enemies on the extended path will receive damage equal to 150% of Leviathan's attack and have a 30% chance to be knocked down. And then lastly, the passive. Every time Versatile Guardian bonus ends, Leviathan permanently increases max HP by 1% up to 4 layers. The first time Leviathan receives lethal damage, they'll be immune to the death and the damage within the future 2 seconds. So very, very strong tank. The more recommended one by some of the veterans. So I just want to make sure I share that with you guys. And then the last 2 dragons are going to be as follows. Arjuna, which is going to be your main buffing DPS for crit especially. So that one unit I actually do have on the wish list right over here, okay? So increases crit, attack speed, etc. Very, very versatile unit. Likes to teleport back into different places. Has a very strong common attack as well as passive. So going to be your main buff there. And then lastly, this unit over here. Okay, I'm going to go to him right now. Here we go. I think it's a emerald unit right here called Shai Sahara or Shai Sahara. I'm saying that correctly. Another summon unit, okay? So gains a 40% attack bonus and summons a mirror image. Up to 3 mirror images can be summoned. After that, turns all the mirror images into entities for 8 seconds. Mirror image attacks Sahara's target using only basic attacks. Entity inherits 100% of Sashi's stats, but takes 100% more damage. So the doppelgangers, you can see here, each one of them will materialize for longer seconds as you increase it. When Shashi's, interesting they call him that, I don't know if that's the correct name, basic attack deals crit damage, summons a mirror image near the target. Mirrors last for 10 seconds and has 100% of Sashi's crit rate and 40% of Sashi's attack. This is incorrect spelling, I'm assuming, guys, unless they're doing it on purpose and they're putting them together like that. It deals damage equal to 200% of attack and makes the target burn for 6 seconds. Burn enemies take damage equal to 10% of attack per second. And then lastly here, Raider increases its crit by 2% each time they make a normal attack. Stacks when crit strike is triggered, attribute buff is removed. So overall, another summon unit. If you guys don't know this, summon units play a massive role in this game in terms of progression. So these are the units you probably want on your wish list, guys. Highly recommend to go for those. If you guys have that, you're in a really good spot already for progression. Currently, I'm on 1111. I can show you guys what my setup is and what I'm using at the moment. As I mentioned, Arjuna is the only unit I have in this list. I'm currently using Greed, Zeus, Bruce, Luna, and Lily. Those are the only units that I have that can possibly heal. Now, I like the 2 tank stack up for one reason. It's because they're able to mitigate a lot of the damage, allowing my DPS to just stay on top of the game. If you guys are struggling with having too many DPS in your team, I suggest trying out the 2 tank method. It really will help you guys control the flow of the battle, especially with Bruce standing there taking most of the hits and Greed controlling a lot of the people up front more, as you guys can see up there. And the beauty of Greed also is the fact that he doesn't take damage from his current HP. His max HP gets affected instead. So for a couple seconds, you can see the purple up there. That's his max HP getting lowered and lowered. And you can see here his green HP is not being affected at all, right? So very important to note that Greed plays a really good role as a tank, is a better PvP tank, but also can play a pretty decent role as a PvE tank as well too. So you guys can see, even though with the power difference between me and the opponent, I'm still able to finish these stages without too much of a problem. All right, guys, this is Payne. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.